What's your choice? BBC editor asks PM Brexit same question 3 times. Watch. Prime Minister Theresa May came under fire after failing to reply to the same question 3 times in a BBC News interview. BBC Political Editor Laura Kuenssberg asked the Prime Minister whether she would choose to give more power to Parliament over safeguarding the country's economy in the Brexit negotiations. Kuenssberg asked, "The EU, your party, businesses, lots of members of the public, they want to know what is your choice, because what it seems like right now, is because there are such divisions in your own party that you're keeping your own choice so close to your chest that you're creating huge uncertainty and a real vacuum. So I ask you again, which is of more value to you, more control for our parliament and our politicians, or less disruption to the economy and sticking closely to the EU?" In reference to a previous comment made by the BBC journalist, the Prime Minister replied, "Well, you say nobody's arguing for a bad deal, but actually the Labour Party are arguing for a bad deal." As Kuenssberg challenged the Prime Minister on failing to answer her question, Mrs May argued, "Well, I'm sorry, you can't make a statement like nobody is arguing for a bad deal when, in fact, the Labour Party are out there saying they want to carry on paying large amounts of money to the EU. My choice is very simple. We take back control of our money. We take back control of our borders, we take back control of our laws. We want that free trade agreement, we negotiate a free trade agreement with the European Union, we want that to be on as tariff-free and frictionless a basis as possible. That would be good for jobs in the UK, but that also gives us the freedom to be able to negotiate and to sign up to trade deals around the rest of the world, and that's good for prosperity and jobs and people in Britain too." Insisting on a clear answer, the BBC journalist asked once again, "Prime Minister, you know very well though that decision time is fast approaching. Now, our viewers can hear when you are reluctant to give any more detail. I ask you again, which is more important to you, less disruption to the economy or more control for our parliament and our politicians? Because the EU, many people in business, many people of the public, many people in your party believe you simply can't have both, and you must now come clean on what you really want, or it looks like you look like you don't know what you want." Mrs May merely repeated her previous replies and failed one more time to answer. She said again, "Well, you see, I don't believe that those are alternatives. What the British people voted for is for us to take back control of our money, our borders and our laws, and that's exactly what we are going to do. But we also want to ensure that we can trade across borders." The Prime Minister has been criticized for her lack of leadership since she took power in July 2016. In a recent interview with Talk Radio, Lord Tebbit called on the Prime Minister to learn more from Margaret Thatcher's approach. Asked whether he thought that Margaret Thatcher would have fired Chancellor Philip Hammond in Theresa May's position, he said, "It wouldn't have been a matter of him being sacked. It would be a matter that he would have the decency to say, I can't convince the cabinet of my policy, I have to leave. We would have been discussing the economic issues in the appropriate cabinet committee and we would have come to a conclusion there. That would have gone through the cabinet would have discussed it. If we agreed on it, we would all stick to it, and if we couldn't stick to it we'd have to go.